just connect the dots.
Yep.
The combine is next week. It starts Monday. We're like 5 days away from that. That's where these trades happen, right? No one knows this better than you do. That's where the Bears traded away the number 1 pick a year ago. And so if the Bears are going to trade Justin Fields, which one assumes they are, then that's when it will happen. And so one can look at this and put 2 and 2 together and say maybe they have communicated to him that that's the plan that they have.
Yep.
And he said, okay, unfollow, and away we go.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I would want to stay in Chicago. I love the city. The city's lit. The fans there, they're great, and the people. But it's a business. I ain't got no control over it. So whatever happens, happens. But I feel like the biggest thing with all this going on right now, I just want it to be over. Like, just let me know if I'm getting traded. Let me know if I'm staying.
Even though the NFL season is over, there's still a lot to talk about. With the NFL draft around the corner, NFL teams are working harder than ever. The Chicago Bears hold the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft, and they have a huge decision to make. Will they keep Justin Fields, or move on from him and draft Caleb Williams? This has been the talk of the NFL world recently, and Fields recently made a big splash. He unfollowed the Bears on Instagram, which caused waves to be set off amongst fans and experts. On a recent podcast with the St. Brown brothers, Fields downplayed the incident, saying, quote, "Everyone gets so caught up in social media. I just wanted a break from seeing all the posts." The post that Fields is referring to is whether or not the Bears should trade him or draft Caleb Williams. It's got to be tough for Fields to see that narrative going around, especially since the situation he has been put in isn't exactly great. Fields has had 2 different head coaches in 3 seasons, and the talent around him hasn't exactly been ideal. Despite that, he had the best statistical season of his career thus far. In 13 games, he passed for 2,562 yards and 16 touchdowns, while rushing for 657 yards and 4 touchdowns. At this moment, nobody knows what the Bears are going to end up doing with that number 1 overall pick. But if they do end up keeping it and selecting Williams, where could Fields end up? Since the beginning of this saga, the number 1 team everyone has been talking about is the Atlanta Falcons. This would be a homecoming for Fields. He grew up in Kennesaw, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes from Atlanta. The Falcons don't have a for sure QB1 at the moment, so Fields will be able to step right in and start. The offense would be dynamic with Fields, Robinson, London, and Pitts. If they get the right offensive coordinator, it would be a great fit. Another team that has recently stepped into the conversation is the Las Vegas Raiders. Aiden O'Connell was a solid starter for them in the absence of Jimmy Garoppolo, who was recently suspended and released. It seems as if the Raiders are looking for a different option to run their offense. The Raiders have genuine interest in trading for Fields per recent reports. They also have decent offensive options in Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. There are also other options that have surfaced in New England and Denver. Their QB situations are similar to Atlanta and Las Vegas, but the interest in Fields isn't as high. It will be an interesting next few months in Chicago. If they decide to trade Fields, it will be a full restart with a new quarterback. On the other hand, they could trade the pick and get more weapons for him. The NFL draft is on April 25th. This will be an interesting next few months in Chicago. Thank you all for watching. What do you think the Bears should do with that number 1 overall pick? Should they trade it and keep Fields, or should they select Caleb Williams number 1 overall? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.